I just want y'all to know that this vlog was taped the same day as my Little Mermaid review. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing the same clothes because someone in this video, in this shot, decided to pee and poop on me. So I had to change clothes. Okay. Welcome to Snake Prince Vlogs. I am your host, Prince Elias. This peeing bastard is Lafayette, my cinnamon ball python, and I got him specifically for this video because this topic is something that I've been needing to talk about for a minute. After years and years of denial, and being a proud pet keeper and only pet keeping, only collecting and raising and caring for as pets, and I'm going to the dark side. I'm going to be a breeder soon. Now, the difference is I'm going to be a breeder with a pet keeper mentality. You see this rack back here? It's going to be totally different. Everybody's getting bigger spaces, bigger cages, mostly PVC, and the racks that I will be having will be the big freedom breeders like what Kayla from Jube and Friends has, where I can deck them out and pimp them out so that my ball pythons will have way more space and extra stuff in it. So, and also I'm never striving to be a big breeder to where I can't name all my animals, I can't identify all my animals, and none of my animals will be labeled as like a serial number or something. No, they're gonna have all names, including the babies. Like, even if I sell the babies, because my first clutch I ever decide to get is gonna be holdbacks for me. But if I ever choose, guess what? They're gonna have a name before they get to you. You can rename them, but you know, while they're at my house, they're gonna have their own little name. But yeah, I want to be a hobbyist breeder, a pet keeper breeder, not, and I want to breed for pet keepers, both what the industry considers low-end snakes as well as high-end snakes. But I'm going to price them the way I want to price them. So if it's below average, that's mine. That's my choice. That's my business. So, you know, it might be a child one day getting a triple head snake, quadruple head snake one day in the future, a couple of years from now. That's going to be way cheaper than what some of you breeders are selling other breeders for. Because I don't believe in charging thousands of dollars for snakes. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. But why am I choosing to breed? Well, one, I've said it in other videos, especially in interviews and podcasts that I've been a guest on. Shout out to everybody who's ever had me as a guest on their podcast. But I want to continue the bloodline of some of my favorite snakes, like Sir Lafayette, the peer, the pea pooper. Some of these snakes have very sentimental values to me, like my first snake, Jafar. He's a classic, super classic, or normal. He is very special to me, and he means a lot to me. And so he is, I'm going to breed him one day in the future so I can continue his bloodline, because these snakes aren't going to live forever. You know, I hope we live a long life together, and I hope they live long with me, but it's not guaranteed. Life ain't guaranteed. And when it's time for them to go, I would like to have, you know, a junior, you know, version of them to continue the legacy and the bloodline. Also, I'm always complaining about the mentality of some breeders. I'm going to say some because there are breeders out there that get upset with me saying I generalize, and why do you always villainize all the breeders? It's not all breeders, it's just some breeders. It's a majority, and it's a mentality that's been going on in the reptile community, especially with ball python breeders, where they devalue single gene snakes and normal snakes, just because they don't have all these weird codoms and bullshit in them. And they always treat these animals like Lafayette, like trash. They use the term like trash genes, or if don't let a normal baby hatch out their clutch, then they miss the odds. And I just hate the mentality, the vocab, what's the sentiments that's been said about these snakes, because these are living beings, these are animals, and you calling them trash, it's stupid. But yet trying to sell them is stupid. And then unfortunately, nobody wants to talk about it, but unfortunately a lot of these breeders sell their normals to like venomous keepers or lizard keepers, so they can be cobra food. They could be food for the king snake food and stuff like that. And it's unfortunate. There's a lot of single genes or normal gene animals. They end up in freezers, because they're considered trash in the industry. But nobody wants to talk about it, but it's a known fact in the industry. It's like an unknown, unkept secret or something like that. And again, I'm not saying all breeders, but it's become a culture to where these snakes, especially the single gene animals or the normals, the classic, super classics, are being treated like shit. Someone made a meme on Instagram, and it's very sad but true. They were like, ball pythons be like, and it was a picture of the little Walmart basket of $5 DVDs, and they photoshopped a whole bunch of normal ball pythons in that basket, that grab and go basket, and they were like, ball python breeders be like. And it's a sad truth. That's what it really be like. That's how they treat these animals, and it's heartbreaking. And then I would always complain and rant on Instagram, and then shout out to Ray from Alluring Serpents. Ray is always, he's like the wise guru of the reptile keepers, of reptile breeders. In my eyes, he's like the wise guru who always have philosophical things to say. My favorite quote of his is, "You don't know what you don't know." You know what I'm saying? And I love it. And one day he posted in his stories, why complain and complain and complain about a problem and not be a part of the solution. And I'm not sure what he was talking about, in his stories, because this happened like months ago, but it really hit home. It really touched me in a positive way. And I was like, yeah, why am I constantly complaining about the industry, constantly complaining about, the culture of the ball python business? How about be a solution? How about be a positive light and insight? Ooh, where are you going, sir? A positive light and insight in the culture. And that's the second main reason why I'm choosing to breed. I want to be a positive reptile breeder, a reptile breeder who isn't selling and breeding to resell to other breeders. I never want my clientele to be other breeders. If other breeders, this boy done peed on me again a second time. God damn. Sir, you can't have none left in you. But I'm not editing this stuff out. I'm not. Y'all just gonna see me get peed on twice in a row. But yeah, instead of complaining about those trash breeders, because y'all call these ball pythons trash, I'm going to call y'all trash. I don't care if you're the big wigs, the big dogs, you have these $1,000 snakes. You're a trash breeder if you devalue and mistreat these animals and forget that these animals are animals. And so, instead of talking about the trash breeders who always diss the ball pythons, I'm going to be a breeder that actually love ball pythons. It's amazing how I watch a lot of podcasts of different varying degrees, and it baffles me, it upsets me, but it also makes me laugh when these breeders come on these podcasts and be interviewed and say, well, I don't really like ball pythons. Ball pythons are not my favorite. XYZ snake is way better than a ball python. A ball python is a pet rock. This is what they're saying, but they're breeding and selling ball pythons. Like, if you like a retic so bad, how come you're not breeding retics? Oh, my bad. You can't house all those retics in your 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, my bad. You can't house all those boas. And you don't have a rack system to hold 20, 30, 40 baby boas at a time, but you can easily house ball pythons. Oh, my bad. The boa market isn't as big as you think it is, or the retic market isn't as big because there's not that many people who could buy a retic or a boa any given day. But anybody can buy a ball python. It's amazing how we have all these breeders who don't like ball pythons, but yet they're in the ball python business trying to make money off ball pythons. And so instead of complaining about a problem, I'm going to be about a solution. I'm not worried about these trash breeders and their opinions anymore. I don't give a fuck if they think ball pythons are just simple pet rocks and they don't mean anything. And they're the weakest animals, and anybody who owns a ball python is not a real man, and all this other bullshit that they come up with memes and say you're weak or whatever if you own a ball python and not one of the big snakes. You know, it is what it is. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. But I'm going to actually be a breeder that actually loves ball pythons, unlike some of these breeders out here. And I'm happy I have a great tribe, great mentorships. There's several people that are mentoring me and teaching me the ropes of both the breeding and the business, and combining the two. Shout out to Emilio from CreativeReptiles. He has his own subscription service on Instagram, and he is mentoring a lot of us. It's a whole community of people. We're actually all helping each other. It's not just him, but it's a lot of us are helping each other. But he's like the coach. I call him coach, and he's one of my mentors, because he not only is a successful breeder who's been doing this for so many years. I think 15 years he's been in the game. I can't remember the exact number, but he's been teaching me. And then shout out to my family, my snake family here in Memphis, Mutation Station, Nikki and Jason. They've been mentoring me a lot and helping me out, and they are helping the foundation of Creative Reptiles breeding program. And so I'm super grateful for them. They've done so much for me so far, and continue to bless me and help me out and mentor me and teach me things, so that when I do decide to actually step out on faith and breed these beautiful pets of mine and make beautiful, amazing pets for future reptile keepers, children and families, and first time, keepers, people who were once afraid of these snakes and now they love them. I'm going for that market, because that market has been tremendously neglected in the ball python community. Everybody wants to be the next Miguel, the next Canova, Justin, the next Ozzy, and they're only wanting to sell to other breeders, and they only want to hopefully be able to sell to big breeders. That's their big goal. And then all the quote unquote, in their eyes, trash genes just go to wholesale at pet shops. They just wholesale them, which is unfortunate, because a lot of those pet shops, i.e. Petco and PetSmart, don't know what they're talking about, don't know what they're doing, and then these things end up getting sick and probably dying. And I'm no longer complaining. I'm going to be a part of the solution. So be on the lookout for Creative Reptiles breeding program, where this future breeder who actually love ball pythons would choose ball pythons over any snake as a pet any day. I love my bloods. I love my blood. I love my boas. I love Jimmy, Hades, and Morticia. I love Avicii. You can't tell me otherwise. They are my babies. But if the laws were to pass and they ended up on some white list or some black list, and I can only choose one species to keep, and I would have to spend money to get permits and stuff, I would do all that work for the ball pythons. They were my first snake. They're my babies. I love them, including the assholes, right, like this one, who pee and poop on me in the middle of a video. So that's why I'm choosing. And don't worry, Creative Reptiles has not given up on their roots. I will always be an educator. I will always do the educational shows and educate the kids and the children. And I'm going to expand and do, I might have to make a second channel because I love this channel for the fact that I have so much freedom to say what I want, speak my mind, and do what I want. But I might make a kids channel, you know, teaching kids, having elementary versions of my videos, giving like facts and stuff about snakes and ball pythons and stuff for kids. I'm still thinking it through and praying on it. I don't know, but I'm thinking about making a kids channel specifically geared for kids to teach them about reptile snakes and the lights, you know, the blood pythons. There's so many people who don't know much about blood pythons, boas and stuff. And so I want to educate the youth, educate you know, everybody, including adults, because a lot of my educational shows, when I go to these schools and teach it and show these kids these snakes, most of the time I'm teaching the adults more than the kids, because the adults have this warped reality of snakes and how they are and how they act, and they have no idea, and they're believing the bull crap about sizing you up, you know, that stupid story on Facebook and stuff, sizing you up to eat you and all that other crap. Like, no. So it's like I'm never giving up on the educational side of Creative Reptiles. And of course, I'm never giving up on the creative side of Creative Reptiles. The photo shoots, the video shoots, we're going to continue to do that. We've been doing that heavy. Music videos, all the creativity stuff. That is my heart. I will do that stuff for free, but that is my bread and butter. And I'm not going to give up on that, but I'm going to expand with the breeding. So 2025 hopefully will be the year that we get the ground running, and y'all will see some amazing babies. Maybe one of you lucky viewers will get a descendant of Lafayette or a descendant of Jafar in the future. Who knows? Gotta get him a girlfriend. Well, Lafayette got girlfriends here, like Elsa. He's definitely gonna breed with Elsa in the future. But there is a female snake that I've been eyeing on. Well, a type of snake that I've been eyeing on for Jafar, and I can't wait. But 2025 is going to be our year where we do our breeding program officially as a business. But yeah, that is a little video of me explaining why I'm jumping and adding breeding to the Creative Reptiles roster. Because I'm tired of complaining about the industry and how the industry has worked, and I want to be a part of the solution. And I want some of my favorite snakes in my collection to have children. I want to continue their bloodline. So that is it for this vlog. I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from, and I hope y'all understand the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing with this company. This stuff is not about the money. As y'all can see how consistent and how hard I go on these YouTube videos, and I'm not monetized at all. You know, I could be. You know, they've been asking, but YouTube, they changed their rules so much to where now I can't cuss the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of a video. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't censor me, y'all. So, you know, but I still make these videos and try to be on a consistent schedule. Sometimes I fail because I'm a real teacher in real life. But I try to be on a consistent schedule with my uploads and making these videos. And I love creating these videos, even though I'm not monetizing, not getting a dime from these videos. So as y'all can clearly see, this is not about the money. The breeding part is not about the money. Like when I breed my very first clutch, I'm not selling those babies. They're staying with me. I might give one or two away, you know, maybe to a lucky kid who might want a snake for the first time. Of course, with parents' permission and enough, you know, research. I'm going to help them out every step of the way, from the housing to, because they're going to be children of Lafayette, you know, or Jafar, or maybe Elsa, you know. And so I got to make sure whoever get those babies get well taken care of. So I'll make sure they get the proper housing and the proper food and care and stuff like that before I let them go. You know what I'm saying? So that is it for this vlog. I am your host, Prince Elias. This Pissy Joe snake on my neck who peed on me 2 videos in a row because I'm shooting this 2 videos in one day. Lafayette, my cinnamon ball python, and the future daddy of my future clutch 2025, we're hoping. And again, we're working on that snake shed, building a big old snake house for all my animals to be housed in with big enclosures. I can't wait. That's going to be happening this year. It's going to be happening this year. We're working on it. I'm still window shopping for sheds. I do know the dimensions of the shed I want and everything. So, yeah. That is it. I'm your host, Prince Elias. This is Lafayette. This is Snake Prince Vlogs, and we will check y'all in the next one.